And you're live.
Hello. I guess I'm going to hit it roughly.
We have both a Chewy and a Pain.
Ah. Hello, Payne. Hello, Chewy. We were attempting to stream to both YouTube and Twitch tonight, and it decided no.
I thought I had it all set up. The testing seemed to work, and then at the very last second when we went to start, it wouldn't connect to Twitch. I'm like, well, that's not good. That's where we actually need to be.
Okay.
Next time.
We'll see.
That may need focus. Helps if I. Where is it? There's the button. There we go.
Yes, so she is looking
Another error.
looking saucier. I did a little bit more tinkering with her off stream. Sort of decided on dress and did a bunch of stuff that's hard to get to. And she does have some Freddy Krueger face, yes. A wee bit. I'm looking at that thinking I maybe should reduce the depth on it a little. Make it look a little bit more burned.
So, do you have it on the chat?
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of?
Yeah, I mean, I have it on the chat. Why?
Yeah.
What do you need?
Well, just, I guess Chewy's isn't working?
Chewy's having trouble with her.
Chewy's having trouble.
Looks like she's got it, maybe?
Oh. Chewy, are you here?
I mean, she just messaged things, so. Okay. Just adding some pleats and wrinkles to this.
What'd you say?
Just adding some pleats and wrinkles to this sort of.
Payne asks if you're making the fabric folds more severe.
Yeah, a little bit. I saw a thing with a sort of interesting, like, dress that I think it probably kind of mirrors the when they used to wear kind of like an underdress and overdress sort of thing, but there's this kind of unusual seam like halfway down the shoulder, and then it gets kind of like blousy into the collar. And I thought that was an interesting look. Yeah, a lot of what I did was like cleaning up the the underside of the ruffles and stuff. Need a little bit more.
All right, music's coming on in a second. Bonk,
Wrong, you say.
bonk, I say. Hey guys, how loud is that? Is it obnoxious? No, it's low. Okay, good.
Um, I mean, there's always a concern for undercuts when you've got like fabric folds and things. I just will need to go and make sure that they aren't a problem, and a lot of that will have to do with deciding where my seam line is going to be, and then figuring out where I need to make the folds less less prominent, because like if I have a section, like let's say I have this face section and that's going to pop pretty much straight off, I can have some pretty wild folds and things as long as they face that same direction, um, and they won't be a problem. So what I often end up doing is I'll have folds and things that are more pronounced as they approach the center of a section of mold, and they'll get less so around the joint, um, with another section of mold, because there it has to slide kind of this way. So like this fold here would be a problem if this was going to be my seam line. I'd have to make sure that it went flat enough to move across. But if I flatten them way out all the way around, then you don't get as much visual interest out of it. So I'll end up typically putting them in more exaggerated where they I suppose exaggerated is not the right word. Put them in more fully in the areas where it's not going to matter to the mold, and let that kind of carry the look for the areas that it's harder. But that fixing those steps comes right at the end when I figure out where I'm gonna run the mold pieces. I actually built my mold for the hag's foot yesterday. That one was a bit wild. I actually had to do a 5-piece for that one, because there were a couple little choices that I made in the sculpt that I really liked, so I didn't want to lose them. So I had to make extra complicated mold. Yeah, my average mold is 4 pieces, so it's really just the one extra. Listing on WikiFeets. I didn't even know there was a WikiFeets. show feet. I can show what's left of feet. Showing feet. Yeah. So actually, I'm very confident that this mold will come out really well because there was very little damage. A tiny bit along here got scuffed up, and some of that has just to do with having to rock the pieces of mold a little bit to kind of break the vacuum. But yeah, almost everything.
Yeah. We need to make it a toe tag.
A toe tag?
Yes. Just for funsies.
Okay. Yeah, but which toe do you put it on?
The big toe. It would have to be the big toe.
Would it have to be the big toe? Or
Well,
maybe the little baby toe?
I mean,
You
if
put it
we're
on-
talking about an actual
Put it on
baby
this
toe-
little piggy.
Yeah, but how would you attach it?
Super glue. I don't know. But yes, my foot really took almost no damage. So I'm pretty sure that mold will be almost problem free. Get the cruddy clay out of it when I recycle it. Pack it in socks. We could do that. I don't know.
Why is there?
I don't know. Our sound guy as a whole. Problematic.
Oh,
Whole tech team is problematic.
thought I had it go.
Yes, we're moving forward with the Super Seeker project and also Yummy Mummies. Fruit Uncommon. A whole feet care package. You know what? We could suggest that to Miranda. She's all about making gift baskets. A feet gift basket with feet mug. Delicious, cheesy, and goblin-y. I mean, I know we're getting at the cheddar goblin. I just don't know how we got there. I feel like the better with cheddar thing was definitely craft, and they definitely want nothing to do with this. Nasty day. It was not craft. I'm pretty sure that one was craft. I want to say the Cheddar Goblins tagline was Damn it! Now I haven't seen Mandy in too long.
What? What?
Simpsons reference.
Yes. Well, I got that with the mayor.
I think it was one of the Quimby cousins. There was a chowder pronunciation debate. The French butler was insistent that chowder would be pronounced chowder, and the Quimby cousin was insistent that it was chowder. So apparently the background music is now loud.
Yep, working on it.
Now that you found it. This is a very professional stream. We're excellent at this.
Shut up.
We should be in broadcasting. I don't know why we're wasting our time with all this mug nonsense.
Yes. Fire the sound guy.
I don't want to fire the sound guy. I mean, I would fire the sound guy, but his tits are amazing.
Thanks. Wait, what?
Disgusting strawberry hard candy. Okay,
What?
for one thing, the joke is Werther's originals, Chewy. And for another thing, that's not a terrible idea.
That's not what?
A terrible idea.
I mean, we were sending candy.
We were sending candy. We were sending specifically Canadian candy,
Yes.
but...
Yes, order our stuff. We'll send you one singular tiny Canadian chocolate bar.
Well, and also some very unique maple flavored stuff.
Yes.
Some kind of a toffee thing.
Yes. Canada. Canada.
Mounds above the red. Okay. I considered making sure to be able to sculpt the witch mounds, but they'd be way off camera somewhere down here.
We're talking about the strawberry candy that's like the white wrapper and the top part where it twists. It looks strawberry.
I think that I always thought they were white, like a white under wrapper, like it's a plain white under wrapper, and then it has a strawberry printed, like kind of see-through cellophane thing.
No.
But also, clearly, it's the old people candy joke.
Yes.
And it's Werther's originals.
Yes. Payne says you're wrong.
I'm wrong about it being Werther's originals?
No, you're wrong about the strawberry candy, I think.
I'm
The
wrong.
wrapper.
Okay. I mean, I haven't seen this stuff in quite some time. I do remember seeing some with some weird, like, strawberry print. Like all the little seeds and stuff. I don't remember any green on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I always seem to remember those having like a white paper, not paper, like some kind of a material wrapper that kind of went on the inside.
I mean,
Like it's completely covered. Just like a weird.
Are they super gross like the molasses candy?
They're
In that they were super gross, but in reality they aren't.
they're weird candy because they had like
Mm-hmm.
goo in the middle. I think it was supposed to be like strawberry flavored
Yeah,
goo,
I think so.
and it was like sometimes it was straight up liquid and sometimes it was like jellified.
That makes sense. The off-brand ones came from the dollar store, so
The off-brand ones came from the dollar store.
the molasses candy.
Oh, oh yeah, that's right. We got the other ones from.
So the dollar store ones were more comparative to the ones that we used to have as kids.
Were they?
Yeah.
Well, that could explain why it was
Yeah.
less well
People were cheap.
received. I mean, if you're buying your Halloween candy at the dollar store, you are decidedly doing it wrong. Like there is a
Explain.
because they sell in very low volume.
Agreed, Chewy.
So you have to end up buying like 6 bags to get the same amount of candy that you would get from just a regular like bag of candy. It ends up being more expensive.
Yeah.
Like unless you're really looking to have like a huge variety of candies and that's what's important to you.
Oh, pain. I found a bag of toffees by the same guy's care at the one store, but it was like a mixed bag, and I'm pretty sure there's licorice ones in there. So I will save them for you to give them to you the next time we see you, which will be
Save them for. You mean you will not throw them out is what you're saying.
yeah, I will not throw them out.
Did it just start like pissing down rain or something? Or is that the fan? I just heard like a distinct increase in noise and I was wondering if it just started absolutely pissing down rain outside.
I'll listen.
Either that or it's just. Actually, do me a favor. While you're in there, I'm Mayor Beverage.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye. Wait, they had unlabeled coconut? Yeah, okay.
Hopefully it's not gonna do the thing.
No, I don't think it's doing the thing. I think the pressure change today is also messing with me a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't hear properly.
Coconut ones. Yeah, we'll eat the coconut ones.
Yeah, we had a weirdly busy couple of days. I was firing the kiln, making a mold. We had the furnace repair guy here. Hey
Chew, there's a bag in my office if you want to go find it.
What? Are you now fascinated by the idea of coconut?
They do have different wrappers.
I would try a coconut. We should do a.
So the furnace kept like cycling on and off in rapid succession. Like it would half kick on and then stop and then start and then stop and start again.
It's called short cycling.
Short cycling, sure.
Yeah, it had a dirty sensor, so it basically didn't know if it was on.
The one pointing at your face. There you go.
Is that better?
Here's your pretty face.
Is that what you needed? Is that what you need, Twitch? Dance, monkey, dance.
There's your moneymaker. I suppose it is you. You are the moneymaker.
I mean,
Some of the time.
some of the time, unless it's in person. It's weird. Like when we're online and it's all about like the product, my stuff sells pretty decent, and then you know, get it out in front of a crowd, and all of a
What's
sudden
with the fish?
I'm serving fish.
Oh, you're so...
How are you?
I... Did you say that?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I
okay.
just assume.
Okay.
I have to assume whenever there's something that I don't understand from Chewie, it's a drag reference.
I know. It's a pretty safe assumption. I
It
suppose.
is. It is a very safe assumption. I mean, she's serving fishy realness. Look at how fishy and real. All of this
Speaking of fishy realness,
is realness. There's no AI.
so
here.
I keep posting our stuff to Google's marketplace for advertising and shit, and our Gilman listings got taken down because they thought we were selling live animals.
It's true.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not sure what kind of animal you think this is. No, on Google Marketplace. Like, the shop. When you go to Google and you hit shop, those.
I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and not be upset about that.
No.
If Google can't tell the difference between my sculptures and real live animals, unfortunately, I feel like that says more about Google than my sculpting ability, but I'll still take it.
Yeah. Like, whenever I go to take pictures of stuff, it tries to, like, face recognize things.
Face recognition actually works pretty well on these.
Does it?
Yeah. Like most of my stuff, the face recognition picks up just fine. They didn't make any claims about adability afterwards. They just said it will keep the cheese on. And
Sure.
they're probably not wrong. The right glue will definitely keep the toppings on your pizza.
True.
Like, I think a watered down PVA glue sprayed over the whole thing.
Or you can use that trap cheese that we were trying to have for dinner.
God. No, I'm not. I'm not starting on that rant again.
Nope.
Because fuck them. That's why.
Yes. The old one was the critter from down the pond. The new one is just Gilman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I quite like the critter.
do too.
The new one was very popular. People seem to enjoy it quite a lot. That's why we had to do a restock already. Yeah, it's so yeah, witchy poo is being a thing.
She got a new name. Witchy Poo.
I don't know. She'll get a proper name when she's finished. Unless I get annoyed with sculpting on this one and move on to something else. We'll see. Yeah, I do find the hag concept challenging in this format. Because a lot of the stuff that really sells, like the idea of a witch is, you know, the pointy hat, or occasionally like they have like crazy super saggy boobs and stuff like that on hag like things, and none of that really fits. Baba yogurt. I could do a Keziah. I think I'd do a brown Jenkin first. I do want to do an Innsmouth look. Nasteen.
Wait, Chewy, are you serious? Nastia.
Yes.
I mean, why ever would they do that?
Well, what Payne is referring to is the list of He-Man villains that I came up with. I honestly don't know how long ago at this point. But they needed. I was brainstorming He-Man related stuff, like He-Man bootleg characters. Yep. I have the full full list is available on the Google Photos now. Can't remember all of them off the top of my head. I do know Plenty Faces was an option. There are several reasons why there's no Fisto. One, there's no way I could possibly come up with a better name than Fisto. And probably the most important is Fisto was a good guy, and I don't care about the good guys. Nope. Fisto was one of the He-Man pals. His evil counterpart was, I believe, Jitsu? Trapjaw's name. Oh goddamn. Okay, we're gonna look this up. There it is. Okay, I have found the list. We have Manimal, Bone Tor, Three Clops, Nastina, Plenty Faces, Mandibble, and of course Fishman. Yes, that is the list of He-Man villain names that Payne is super obsessed with, and I don't know. But at some point, I will probably do a He-Man related thing. A nice Manimal sculpt is probably a thing. I mean, yeah, they're highly discounted bargain bin Sun Gold knockoff He-Men's is it the He-Men's is get my actually send a thing to the wife so she can put it on the
Do a thing.
yes. I just need to
Back to work, slave.
send this you. There you go. Okay, there you go.
I was gonna say.
It's so many button presses.
Oh, okay. So I'm to put this up.
Yeah, you can share that one. She know what to.
Hmm?
Indeed. No, you got Futurama references going.
Bonk. What?
Yep. Foot mold.
Take it down because it's covering
Okay.
all the interesting shit. Deep key.
Yeah, I had a couple of pretty profound keys in there. Yeah, there's definitely some like Henson's Creature Shop elements to the Hagfoot. With the like skin tattoos section, some of that texture is very very dark crystally. Diabetes foot, really? I don't know. I don't know. I could have probably should have looked up like gangrenous diabetes feet, but I mean, that thing could be missing toes. You don't know how many it had initially. Actually, I don't know how many it has now. I never count toes. Okay, now I am going to count the toes. One, two, three, four. No, it does actually have. It has the full 5 toes and only full 5 toes. Just placed a little different. Yeah, I guess whenever I think about the ravages of diabetes on the feet, I always think about the ulcers more than like the skin changes, but yeah, add some diabetes ravaged feet to my files of reference unpleasantness. Some of this really thinned out hair going. Very thin, wispy hair is something that I've tried to sculpt a couple of times. And I've been, like, sort of successful at it. Yes, it needs, like, she needs that, like, you know, dandelion puffball hair. Stuff that you're pretty sure if she goes out in the wrong weather, it's going to blow away. On this, especially on this side. Yeah, that kind of elderly thinning hair. But this is going to be extra patchy due to the burns. And if I can sell it as also greasy, all the better. You know,
What do you know?
I haven't any idea. That's going to be a complete waste of my time, isn't it? Yep, that completely will be. Just thinking about trying to make a patch up here where you could clearly see that it was just scalp that you could see through the hair, but almost assuredly that's going to turn into hole in the mug. Got to remember not to put any super important sculpted bits. Where the opening needs to live. I think the rim. Oh, like skulls poking through. I could do. Probably save that kind of thing for like a zombie. Oh, I might. No, no, she's not really a zombie. She's just somebody that had a potion go off in her face. Hmm. Some of that deep texture might be might be making the hair read as too full.
Didn't want that.
No. No, I think this might want to be flatter and just a bunch of thinner textural lines. Let's see if that reads. Better, I think, but not there yet. I don't know. I hadn't really thought that far ahead. I was thinking just the kind of similar burn texture. I'm going to see where this goes. I'm going to see where this goes. I think this sculpt already has quite a lot going on with it. So I may end up paring down some of the different little passages, try and decide what are the most vital aspects. I think I like that a bit better. Flatten this hair out. I don't want to just throw everything at the sculpt. I don't know. Keep some clarity. I'm considering changing up this mouth area. I kind of like the idea of the teeth showing through, but it's also a little Two-Face from Batman for my taste. Yeah, like it's not a bad idea. It's just
Not what I want.
well, we don't need every single idea in this piece. Yeah, I'm doing real well in terms of my sculpting production. So I'm not in any particular hurry to get this piece finished. So if I put her away and pick something else up, just so it doesn't get dull watching the same things on stream for too long. But yeah, I've got right now two mug designs ahead in production, and the Hag's Foot one will be, I'll probably be able to pour the first of those early next week. Although this time of year the molds dry a little slow, just because it's springtime and tends to be pretty humid and a little bit on the cooler side in the basement here. So they dry a little slower. But yeah, I have got mugs for days. I don't need to rush any kind of thing. It's potato time.
Thanks. Don't be tripping, mugs.
I have no problem with production. Yep.
Right.
I mean, gotta smack her ass. That's what she's into. Potato's one of those cats that likes it rough. Of course, now she's heard something. Potentially. Might still be in her head, but there's also a good chance it's just shame. Yeah, it's either Seamus or the HVAC system throwing her off. Potato she's a special girl. Now she's sniffing a heater. Potato, don't cook your face. Get a cat. That is a very dense cat. And just super skittish for just no reason. Here. Crazy cat. going to be interesting when the... Yes, I can hear you. You're way down there to pet now, though. With a very tall chair potato. Also, the potato fluff is super real. Definitely don't need all that in my clay. I mean, I definitely want the stink eye on the hag. That is a clear portion of my vision for this piece. It's 100% stink eye. Okay. All right, I think that reads as softer hair. So that's a way of doing it. I'm just using one of these newer tools that I made. It's literally just a relatively thick piece of music wire that I cut grooves in with a Dremel. To make just a really fine rake. It's also got a pretty longer area up here, so it's got some decent flex to it, which is nice. It follows the form really well when you're raking with it. Here that the potato has disappeared back to the upstairs. Cats just love poking their heads in down here during work time. Just see what's up. I think give that hair a rest for a minute, because that's not good TV. No, I think trying a bit of resculpt on this mouth area. Be a little bit more compelling to watch.
Should I be talking out loud?
Maybe, I don't know. I can't say anything at all about the music because I literally can't hear it,
No.
at all. It is a thing. Well, and also
Now I wanna
because
know what
I
it was.
don't have I don't have any earbuds.
I wonder if I can go back to it. Do you want to hear the last one again?
Exact same song. What?
Exactly wrong. Oh yeah, he does not like music at all, so I don't even bother listening to his opinion on it.
Okay, just because I don't like your
Yeah, let's go back to the
particular
last one.
form
This
of
one?
country adjacent nonsense. I don't.
Address what you just said.
Do not pretend
Don't even. Don't even.
that there is not some highly suspect okay. Before I go too far here, let's see. What if she had a really wide kind of smile happening on that side? Also got a nice couple of nice pieces of reference here for burns, and it looks like an interesting thing that tends to happen. Yes, I mean, getting some Joker makeup is definitely a thing that I will do. We do have one particular collector that is a huge Joker fan, and he is also he is a teacher, and he is a fairly consistent progressive voice out there, and I like to support education and things where I can. There's an interesting thing that seems to happen with the interaction of scarring with ah. Which one was Smilex again? That was the the Joker from the the 90s Joker. Was it not? The Jack Nicholson Joker, yeah. He was going to put that in the water supply. It's crazy the things you remember about the Joker films, or the Batman films, I guess. And the old Tim Burton ones. Plot is not the bit I remember. Oh, the bat mask. That thing was nuts. I mean, that's your hair is no one's fault but yours. I'm not wearing the bat mask. That was not it was not conducive to my glasses wearing at all. I mean, doing the voice is one thing, but doing an entire sculpture stream where I can't see it all is definitely problematic. I haven't really gotten to the neck waddle-ish too much.
Did you hear something weird?
And something's thumping around upstairs a lot. I don't know what.
Yes.
Oh, it's my wife just
Is it
kicking
me?
stuff. My wife kicking stuff under the table like a fidgety 3-year-old.
Sorry.
Yeah, I will be doing a little bit more meaty neck folds for sure. But one interesting thing about uh, burn tissue is it seems like it tightens up a lot of things. So there's a lot of pulling happening in here. That I'm kind of wanting to keep in contrast with some of the other areas. Burn scarring also tends to be a lot more subtle shapes than what I've got going here. And I think I may want to pull some of this back a bit. Like, I still want there to be some character happening around the burns, but the amount of kind of Freddy Krueger-ness is not really what I'm looking for today. Yeah, the burning that I'm seeing in my reference is very much about these little subtle like little shifts in the planes. On the skin, like little areas where it's kind of pulling because it's there's less flexibility there, but then there are areas that kind of have to move. So there's some like breakup going on. Little like organic checkerboard type patterning. A lot of it is, it's actually about simplifying the masses. And then just adding this little finer texture to the top. So I'm going to try that and see how that looks. In this sculpt, I'm all about the trying things for this one. I did not have any real direction when I started this, outside of I wanted to make some kind of a Haggy type character. I may even try some actual melting. On a couple of spots. Just to try and kind of get to a little bit of that there's a shininess to burned areas. Sometimes 9:30. Pop over and grab my torch real quick. I might be. I might very well be. We'll see how this goes. I find that I don't usually really love the torch with monster clay. Because it has a very small window for melting. Use all of the C's 6. I have to assume that is a typo. peasants. But yeah, there are some really cool effects that you can get with heat and some of the other clays. That's it, but that's actually not too bad. Sculpt into that and maybe do a couple of rounds of torching. This would be the time if I had one of those canned air bottles. To freeze this face again. To make sculpting in easier. Oh no, that's okay. The canned air bottles are kind of neat. But I actually have a better method. It just doesn't work as well on stream. I like to just dip my monster clay in cold water. So I just douse it in the bucket. But thank you, Chewy. I will. That's kind of you to offer, but it's not a tool that I feel like I need much of. Also, that stuff is the propellant in canned air is not the environmentally kindest stuff. So I much prefer to just stick with cold water. I should do a speedier sculpt kind of thing for a stream sometime. Show off some of the crazier things you can do with monster clay. Heating and cooling and all that kind of stuff. Get a conveniently situated bucket with ice water. And really start one from scratch. That's how I do my I mean, I call them my armatures. They kind of form the same purpose as armatures, but it's just a monster clay form that I do kind of pinch pot style, and then freeze it in cold water. Yeah, this doesn't. Like you're walking on sunshine. That is possible. I also don't need to be inhaling propellants in my basement studio. Get some whipping cream down here. It's a snack and a drug. I feel like that was one of those clips that was on Timmy Boo for the longest time. And that's, yeah, no context for that. It's just the soundbite. Yeah, that amount of melty faces. Kind of working for me. I don't like that. Skip the eyebrows. You can have those thin old lady eyebrows. Yeah, this isn't actually working out too badly. I normally don't like the way monster clay melts with a torch because you get this like heavy surface melt almost instantaneously, but it doesn't, like, the heating doesn't go very deep at all. It's actually a really cool technique that I've seen used a few times, but it works good with chiffon clays, I guess, but not so much with the monster clay. But you can get a pretty decent melt going, and then take like plastic wrap and put it over the form, and then kind of bunch it and scrunch it, and it puts these really interesting wrinkles in. When you just peel the plastic wrap off, you get a really nice textural effect that you can work into. But I tried it with the monster clay, and the monster clay melts like to the point where it's just puddling and running right off before it gets any depth. of of softness in the clay, so you really can't move it. It just kind of it's just kind of a surface thing. Yeah, it'll do that. I I haven't got a proper old-fashioned alcohol torch. Um, that's a tool I've been kind of meaning to grab and experiment with, because sometimes it's about a little bit about the heat source. Because like if I could get the monster clay to melt much more slowly, that might allow it might allow the heat to penetrate a little further before it actually starts to melt. But I've had very limited success applying heat. But this didn't work out too bad. So what exactly were you trying to accomplish, Payne, with your melting? I don't remember if you showed me that. Yeah, more adjustability is probably good in a torch. The size of the torch matters a bit too. Oh, the little nubbies on the yeah. Monster clay has a real nasty habit of there's like a little window in its kind of meltiness that it really won't stick to itself. That's like the one real consistent complaint that I have with the material. I generally kind of like the carvability and the sort of, it keeps your tools pretty clean, like doesn't stick to everything. But yeah, trying to melt or soften a piece so you can just kind of like stick it on. Yeah, you can polish it up pretty nicely, which is nice. I haven't had much call for polishing the monster clay myself, but I like that you can do it. There's another one that that I was reading over. I got some the melting window for it is crazy. It's only I think it's like 170 and change is the melting point for monster clay. Which is just insanely low. I picked up some a couple of blocks of Chivant's NSP clay. just for the purposes of demos mostly. It's a medium grade, a little bit softer than the monster clay, and it'll allow me to sculpt a little bit faster when I go to shows and stuff. But the melting temp on that stuff is way up. Oh, I guess I put that away already. I think it's one. It was real close to 190. It was like 180, 187 or something Fahrenheit to melt the stuff. And it does have like a very sticky, compared to monster clay, very sticky feel to it. But that might be something to look into, is getting a little bit of Chivant and mixing in. There's a product that they make called Monumelt, and another one it's not, it doesn't seem to be as waxy. There's definitely some wax in there, but not, it doesn't have as waxy a finish. But apparently the Monumelt and the Y2 clay are sort of formulated for I thought it was a weird name, especially because that one is it's formulated more specifically for industrial sculpting, and it claims that you can actually sand it in the paperwork for it. Like, it's designed to be highly polishable for, I guess, probably like product and automotive type sculpture, where you want to be able to, yeah, the Y2 clay, the Monumelt also was supposed to be somewhat polishable. That one was designed for a larger scale, and I think investment burnout. So for like bronze cast and stuff, I think they said it burned out of the mold cleanly. But yeah, both of those were listed as sort of polishable. I'm not sure if the Monumelt was silicone friendly. I'm actually not sure if either of those were silicone friendly, come to think of it. So they may have a tiny bit of sulfur in them or something. Which would definitely inhibit the cure on platinum silicones. I mean, something in my monster clay inhibited the cheap Amazon silicone that I tried, so who knows. Apparently, from what I was reading, if you get tin cure silicone as opposed to the platinum cure stuff, it can be a little bit more or a little less prone to having cure inhibition issues. It it molded okay. It was nice to work with. Um, it had a pretty good working time. It was a 1-to-1 mix, and it was a reasonably bubble-free cast, but there was a very slight problem with the curing, so it didn't cure nice and crisp. It stayed kind of gummy for quite a while. I haven't messed with it too much. I did pull one test cast from it. I don't think it was any problem with the silicone itself. It was my monster clay, which isn't to say that that's a problem with monster clay for this particular silicone. I never really expected to do a lot of silicone molding, so I was never careful about my monster clay. I was reading online, apparently latex I don't really use very much in terms of smoothing solution, but I have tried a couple of different things, and the monster clay that I'm typically sculpting with has been recycled like a half a dozen times. I melted a couple of crayons in it. It's got some it's got a little bit of this other product called Castelline. I got some Castelline in there. Yeah, my my monster clay is not pristine at this point. It works fine. It works terrific. But it's still okay. It's monster clay in the exact same sense that like ground beef would be definitely still ground beef if you got it from a place that did ground everything. There's a legally allowable amount of contamination, and I'm taking full advantage of it. It's the brown monster clay and the green monster clay, and there's hard and medium mixed in there. There's probably horse meat in it too. Yeah, one of the things I was reading was latex. Some latexes can have a problem with inhibiting silicone cures. But yeah, I have a chunk of that silicone sitting right around here somewhere. Is it 10 o'clock? It's 10 o'clock. But yeah, I did get good cure off of the silicone, just not next to my monster clay. I used the whole of the batch. I had just a tiny bit left over. I don't know where I put that little pad. I can't complain too much, because for what I paid for it, I ended up throwing the little bit that I had left over into just a container, and I ended up making a nice flat round disc thing that my wife uses for a grippy pad when she's painting ceramics. And as far as I know, it works really good. And it costs about 2/3 of what the diamond core alternative does. Yeah, anyway, it is 10 o'clock. We have melted some face. So I think we're going to sign off for the night. Thanks for swinging by the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Night.